Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Derek Forbes, who's the CEO of Stardust, and we're going to take a look at amplifying the power of mobile, video, and social and entertainment and interactive consumer technology. Derek, it's great to have you with us at Market Site. And technology, you don't think about this when you have the theater experience, but it's impacting it more than it ever has before.
Well, good morning, Jill. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome.
And absolutely, yeah, technology's always had some kind of a role in entertainment, and I think that's only been increasing in recent years, both with the theaters using technology in terms of how they decide what they're going to produce and how they market to consumers, but now increasingly with streaming and the emergence of all of these different players that are really bent on building up their audience size, and so they're producing a ton of content to try and make that happen.
Yeah, it's not like you just need that big studio, that one big studio to do it anymore. I mean, all of us are content providers at the end of the day.
Right.
So let's talk about that, the evolution and trends that you're seeing now in entertainment and social media.
Yeah, so I think one really interesting example is, Disney's launching their new streaming service very soon, and they're talking about all of the content that they're going to be putting on there to lure subscribers. And they've got one big hit coming up, The Mandalorian, which is their original series in the Star Wars universe. And they announced that they, rather than releasing all of the episodes in one hit like you would see on Netflix when they release a show, they're actually going to be releasing it weekly. And so
Oh, you think the binge watching trend could be over?
It's a very interesting
That might be disappointing.
move. Well, yeah, because I think when they looked at series like Game of Thrones from HBO and how the weekly release of the episodes helps build the hype and the discussion and the synchronized viewing with masses of people, and it helps integrate it into the culture because it's spread over, like a 10-week or a 12-week period, and it allows the social discussion to be as much a part of the event of that show as the content itself. And so I think that we might see a lot more of that going forward.
That's interesting, but it does make sense from that perspective. I mean, even just what you see on Twitter and how it builds up that excitement with Game of Thrones and some other series. So applying the power of mobile and video and social media, do you think the theater might not be as impactful as it could have once been, since everything is moving towards more of a mobile platform?
I'm a huge fan of going to the movies at the theater. I think it's its own special experience, and I think it's as much about the experience of getting out of the house and being in a dedicated spot where nobody's talking and there's no interruptions and you focus on the entertainment as it is about anything else. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think, yes, streaming is important. Yes, people are going to be watching a lot more things at home, and there's going to be quality content there, but I don't think it's going to be an existential threat to cinema.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that theater experience. Let's talk about the Stardust app.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Sure. So Stardust is our social media app all about movies and TV shows, and it's a place where you can go and talk to your friends or other fans about the shows you're watching, the movies you're watching. You can get into a deep discussion about characters and plots. You can read articles and opinion about all of the things that you enjoy, and you can also discover new content.
Yeah. All right. Very interesting. Thanks so much, Derek, for joining us at Market Site. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.